welcome back everyone. This is our fourth podcast, and today we're doing about rest and not overworking yourself. I think this is quite a common thing for us as humans to do, because especially in this day and age, in the generation and the century and everything else that we're in this modern era, a lot of the businesses, especially the bigger businesses, I'm not mentioning any names, but especially some of the bigger businesses are all about working you as much as possible so we can get as much out of you, and you don't really have that outside life, that time to relax, that time to rest, that time to kind of refigure your brain, restart your whole body, and you end up feeling like you need like yearly MOTs that cars have and that yearly service just give it a bit of clean, but you don't have it because your body, you can't just give yourself oil change. As much as it would be a lot easier if we did work like that, but then we'd have to be scrapped within 10 to 15 years for some of them. So looks like we're going to be sticking here hopefully for a lot longer than 10 to 15 years. Anyway, so today we're talking about rest and overworking yourself. I know for me, especially these last few summers, in amongst the COVID regulations and lockdowns we have had, it has meant that I spent most of my summers working. Last year, for example, we went out of lockdown and I basically went straight into work because of the work I was doing last year. I could kind of go straight into work as soon as basically we was allowed to open, and I could go and work there then. And then all throughout the summer I was working, and okay, it's good pay, but I didn't really do much. I did odd bits of cycling here and there with my friends. I did more of that last year than this year, but I didn't really do much than this year. I was looking from a gallery the other day actually. I worked out that although there was a lot of photos on there, and there's a lot of photos of my spaniel as well, Ruby, because she is a cute spaniel, but I took her to work with me, so there's a lot of photos on there. And it's made it look like I have been quite busy this summer, but at the same time, most of that is due to work and being at work, because I take her to work, so therefore there isn't actually a lot that I seem to have done outside of work, but I have learned a lot in work this year, if that does make any slight sense. But what have I done this summer to enjoy myself? What have I done? Have I gone out for days with friends? Have I gone out for meals with friends? Done the odd afternoon here and there, but I really haven't done much this summer. And I think it's one of those things where I know I've worked myself loads, and I just get too tired after work and I go, right, that's it, I've worked for a day, I'm just going to go and sit on my bed, watch TikTok, because that seems to be a really addictive thing. And if you don't have TikTok, I wouldn't suggest rushing to get it, because it is really addictive to get. And once you're on it, you'll just go, oh, I'll go and watch one or two videos while I wait, and you'll then go like 2 hours later, oh great, I should have been asleep like an hour and a half ago. But it happens. Joys about modern technology in these days. Sometimes it works great, and sometimes it does have its down points. But to move on with me wobbling on about TikTok and me getting carried away, which is what I'm doing currently as well. So I think I would just start by talking around the idea of the 4, 5, or 6 day work weeks. They're both, all three of them are slightly different setups, and they have, depending which country you're like currently watching this from, some of you may be used to the 4 day work weeks. I think it's one of the European countries that have kind of like led as example with the 4 day work weeks, where they have a 3 day weekend, and they have found that the staff are way more productive on the 4 days that they are in and get more done, rather than when they was in 5 days, just because they felt better about themselves, they felt better about business, they felt like they was looked after more, their mental health was in a better state, their physical health was in a better state, they managed to spend time with their families and so on. The 5 day work weeks, it does start to drag out a bit. I know that I've done a bit of 5 and 6 day work weeks recently, in Pembrokeshire, and when I've been up in Norfolk, which I'm currently doing right now. I only done a 5 day work week this week coming, which is what I'm doing at the moment. But even a 4 day work week, when you're working from like 8, and then I was doing some stuff in the evening as well till about 8, like 7 or 8 at night, I was always doing something, and it does get tiring. But a 5 day work week is normally the standard that a full-time job is classed as in the UK at the moment. So you're working normally like Monday to Friday, or if you are on a slight different contract, you may work some weekends and stuff, like if you're at a holiday park or something like that. But normally a 5 day work week is Monday to Friday, Generally, it seems to be an office job Monday to Friday, 5 days a week. And then there are some people that do work with 6-day work weeks, and to be honest, I wouldn't want to work a 6-day work week. I would be flat out dead afterwards. Um, but some people do, and they have slightly different. They get used to it. They get used to working 6 days a week, 1 day off, 6 days in, 1 day off, 6 days in, 1 day off, for example. But it does get tiring. It drags on, and when do you actually then spend time with your loved ones, with your family and your friends, and when do you actually get time to yourself mainly as well, to kind of relax that mental pressure of being worked, switch off from work and stuff. And I think during COVID as well, that from on the consultations that I've been on, spending time with your loved ones is something that a lot of us have realised that we need to do more, not less. We need to do more. We couldn't see them during COVID. I know some of us have lost loved ones during COVID, like I lost my granddad, not to COVID necessarily, but due to other circumstances, it then meant that I couldn't actually spend time with him before he passed away. And I think that kind of is just one of the many thousands of examples that because I've talked to quite a few people, especially across Wales, on the consultations, and a lot of people are saying the same thing, that especially if they've lost loved ones, or even if they just felt isolated because they live alone, and they just felt isolated during the lockdowns, and they have learned to spend time with loved ones. And some people have actually changed their jobs. They changed jobs so they can have that time with their family, with their loved ones, time to actually spend on themselves, and because they cut down on slight hours. But like, I'm proud of you for however many days of work you during the week, whether it's one, or even if you work 7 days a week, that will be a full-on week. But I'm so proud of you for doing it, because you're still out there, you're trying your best, you're trying to do something new, you're trying to improve yourself, and you're getting money in to then be able to provide for your family, etc. But I would say that it's important to have at least a day of rest in the week. Whether it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, any of those days, I highly recommend you have at least one day, even if you're still doing little stuff, because you don't like sitting around like me. Even if you're just potting around your garden, like deadheading some roses, or just sitting there knitting or crocheting a blanket or anything like that, it'll still work. But give yourself some time to rest. Do something different on that day. Say to your family, look, I'm off on this day. If anyone else is off, do you want to come walk the dogs with me? Do you want to come on a walk? Meet up on so-and-so beach and walk along the beach and back. Just give yourself something to relax yourself. Enjoy that day. Use that day to boost your mental health, boost your physical health, and your happiness. So then when you go back into it, you're ready to face work. And then if we go on to my next point, is in the UK, the current retirement age is 68. Like, the average retirement age is 68 in the UK for men, I think that is. Don't quote me on that one though, but the average retirement age anyway in the UK is 68. And the life expectancy average is only 78. Sorry, the retirement age is 67 and the average life expectancy is 78. So that means that you're working for however many years in your career that you're working since you leave school or college or uni, you're working, and you have 11 years to enjoy life afterwards. Life is too short. You are not promised to live to that age even. Some people do sadly pass away before that. Some people don't even make it to 20, and some people so on. You aren't promised every day. Every day is a blessing to have. So it's time to start enjoying life. It's time to start resting, giving yourself time out of work, not overworking yourself, and enjoying the little bits of life you can do. Go out and start a new hobby. Every Wednesday evening, go out on a run with some friends, or go just for a walk down the beach at sunrise or sunset, and just take in that nature, take in the time being sociable with your friends. Maybe even have a no phone ban if you want to make it even better for yourself. Like, that's something I would personally struggle with, because I like being on my phone. But go somewhere with no signal, challenge yourself. I've done that a few times, especially in lockdown. I went down to Fresh East Beach, which is a local beach of mine, but there's no signal down there. So I purposely went down there so there was no signal, and then I could properly just relax. I was with my dog, just walking along the beach. It was lovely. Um, but yeah, tomorrow is not promised. I would love to see you in tomorrow. I would love to see you in years to come. I would love to meet you in 50 years' time, where you turn around and go, yeah, you told me to relax. You told me to not overwork myself, because overworking yourself, all you're going to do is stress yourself and make yourself ill so you can't actually work. Or if you can still work, you can't be as productive. And we need to look after ourselves in this day and age. There are businesses out there that are good and they look after you, and there are also some that aren't so good. And I'm not saying that aimed at any businesses, but you as a person, you know what you enjoy doing in life. You know how much you can handle in a week. Some people are built slightly differently. They're on slightly different diets for you, so they'll have more energy. And once you go into the diet, you won't be there forever, because it isn't something that's my strong point at eating healthily. So I've been doing some research today. I've got a bit of dust in my on the back of my throat. So if I do cough, that's why. Yeah, give yourself time to relax. Take that break. Take one day off a week. Relax, enjoy life, spend it with your family. And on a plus note as well, just to add on to all of this, because I'm not trying to make these podcasts too long, and okay, it may have just been a quick ramble, but it's just a couple points. And next week we will be going on. There is a topic for next week. I totally forgot it now because I didn't write it down on my notes, which I should have done. It may come back to me anyway. Oh yeah, next week, that's what it was. So next week we are talking about taking the mask off your face. We're not on about a face mask that you wear to go into the shops, to go in on public transport and stuff. We're on about your mask that you put on to hide stuff when you go to work, when you go to see your friends and stuff. But that's what we'll talk about next week anyway. I'll leave all of that for next week. I'm going to properly plan that one because I think it's a really good one to listen to and look into. So I hope to see some of you on there. And the week after, as long as all goes well, we do actually have a guest hopefully coming on the show to do a part 2 to last week's podcast. So if you haven't watched it already, go and give it a watch. So that's going on about treating others, treating yourself like your loved ones, like the way that you treat your loved ones and all of that. And so one of my friends reached out to me, and the one that actually inspired me to do it, they reached out to me and they want to do a part 2 to it with me. So it'll be nice to have some guests on the show again. So hopefully next week we are doing the thing about face mask. Week after we'll be hopefully having a guest on. If we don't quite have a guest on that week, it should be the weekend after. It's obviously dependent on work commitments and stuff on their end. And also I'll be getting back on Friday evening before that weekend. So we only have a Saturday and Sunday where we can kind of meet up to do it. But we'll get that in within the next few weeks anyway. But hopefully that'll be in 2 weeks' time. Or 3 weeks maybe if we need to, depending on work commitments. And also we have Vote 16. We'll be doing a podcast about that. I don't know whether that'll be on one of our Sunday podcasts or whether that'll be an extra one. But we'll be doing Vote 16. I've been asked to do that by the Youth Assembly group I'm in. And then on the 20th of November, it's Universal Children's Rights Day. So there will be a special children's rights awareness video going up on the 20th of November. So that's a Saturday. So that week you're going to have 2 videos from me. And that's going to be a really good one. I'm about to have to start looking into all the research with it and all the children's rights and just get the awareness out there, especially those rights that children don't believe they have when you do, because children's rights are a really important thing to listen into. But I'm not going to rabble on to too much about that today because I've already kept you here for about 14 minutes now. By the time obviously the intros and stuff, it'll be slightly over that. But yeah, don't overwork yourself. Give yourself my guidance. I'm not a professional, but my guidance is you can work as much as you want 6 days a week. Maybe some of that's half days, maybe some of that's you only work 5 days because you have a larger family to spend, or you have children that you have to look after on the weekends. So, but give yourself 1 day a week, one whole day where you're not in work, you do something you enjoy, go and do some exercise, walk down the beach, or even just sit at home, cuddled up in snuggly blankets with a fire on, watching Netflix films, because it's getting to that time of year where it is a bit colder outside. It's slowly turning around into winter now. So just go and do that. Do whatever makes you happy. And soon it'll be Christmas, so there'll be some Christmas specials coming on here as well. And hopefully a few more guests coming on before Christmas, and I will keep you updated on that. There will be stuff on our Facebook page, and I am actually going to do a video just on, once I get some sort of schedule together, I will be doing a video on that just to go over the schedule on YouTube, just so you can watch over it if you want to put any important dates in. And please, 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 if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, you want me to cover, or you want to be on the podcast so I can cover them with you, or even if you just want me to be there to get your voice heard, as that is why I'm doing it, to get other people's voices heard, please, please, please contact me, comment down below or something like that, and I'll do my best to get you booked in. I am currently up in Norfolk at the moment, but there's always an opportunity of Zoom, or once I'm back in 2 weeks' time, I can actually meet up with you and record it in person, and it's whatever's best for you. So please, please, please get in contact with me if there is anything that you want to be covered, or if you want to be on the show, or even if you don't have any topics but you just want to be on there and just give your opinions on whatever topic. Like if you want me to pick a topic, or give you a list of a couple of topics and you can pick one, just let me know, because I'm very happy to accommodate to you. And any guests that we can have on the show, in a way, it helps you out more, it gives you a bit of confidence boost, and I'll do whatever I can to support you with that. And that's the main point of this, is giving people confidence boost, making them feel prouder about themselves. And also, I just want to help people, and as long as it makes one person smile, it's worth doing. But anyway, I'm not going to rabble on too much about this, because it's getting on. You lot aren't going to want to watch a too long video, so I will end this here. But I hope to see you again next week when we're talking about maths. And if you're lucky, I do have a speech that I'm currently writing about your identity in yourself. So hopefully that'll be up in the next few weeks as well, because I did say I'm going to do Wednesday motivations. It's just this last few weeks has been hectic, and that'll be a story that will actually happen. I'm also currently writing a book, so that'll be exciting to see when it comes out, even if it's in a year or two time. But anyway, I'm going to end it here before I rabble on too more, and I hope to see you again next week. Goodbye.